Hello everyone and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of our subscribers. If you are new to the channel, you are welcome. If you have not subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button and then hit on the notification bell also to get an update so that when I upload a new video, you are going to see the video. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew a 6 pieces wrapper skirt. Yes, you heard it right, a 6 pieces wrapper skirt. That's what we're going to learn how to sew today. It is a beautiful pieces. So before we continue, if you want to register for our online classes, so you can see my number scrolling through the screen, just send me a message on WhatsApp and then I'll give you the details of the classes that we have for this month so you can register. Also, I want you to hit on the like button of this video. Just like this video. Liking this video is like a way of you giving back to me. You understand what I mean? For me uploading this video, so I want you to like it back as a way of like paying me back for this video. So I would appreciate if you would just hit on the like button and then you can drop your comment on the comment section if you have any question. Okay, so now let's get started. The fabric I'm using here, I'm using a plain cotton fabric. It's about 4 yards, so you need a lot of fabric when you want to cut this kind of skirt. So I'm going to be cutting it. We're not going to be making use of any pattern. We're just going to be cutting straight directly on our fabric. So now I'm just going to fold my fabric and then we'll just dive into this tutorial right now. Okay, so I folded my fabric. So the first pieces we're going to cut out is the center piece. You know it is a 6 pieces skirt, so we need a middle piece. So I folded my fabric at about 14 inches. So this fold, you can, depends on how wide you want your center piece to be and how full you want it to be. So that is what you are going to use. So I'm going to insert my lines now to serve as guide for me. So the first line I'm having here is my hip line, which is 8 inches. You can use between 8 and 9 inches. So it depends on how big. You can use 9 inches also. So it depends on how tall the person is. And then the next measurement that I'm adding on my skirt is my knee line. So that is where my flare will start from. So for the knee line, I'm going to be making use of about 18.5 inches for my knee line. So these are like the two major lines that I'm making use of for this skirt. So the next thing now, I'm going to just take a random measurement. So for this, I usually don't take, depends on how wide I want my center piece to be on the top part. So that is what I normally use. So for this, I don't want it to be too wide. So I'm going to be making use of about 8 inches. So since I'm making use of 8 inches, which is like my bust span, so I'm just going to come to this point. I'll mark 4 inches here. I'll come to the hip line also. I'll repeat the 4 inches. And then on this knee line, I will reduce it a little bit. You can go with the same 4 inches, depends on what you want. So I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. Why I'm doing this, I want it to give me a beautiful curve. So from this point like this, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to connect this line to this part. You know that I reduced this by half of an inch. So because I reduced it, it is not, I'm just going to come like this. So these lines, they are not entirely really straight, as in not, don't make them so sharp straight. That's what I mean. So from the knee line, I'm going to form a curve to get to this point. So I'll just use my long ruler. I'll take it like this and then I'll form my flare for the down part of my skirt. This is like the easiest 6 pieces skirt ever. So you see I've cut out my center piece already. That is how easy it is. Okay, so you can see our center piece of our skirt. So you see how beautiful it is looking. So with this piece now, we're going to cut the center back out now before we cut the side of our skirt. So I'm going to fold my fabric again. Okay, so I folded my fabric now. So I'm going to cut out the center back. So I'm going to take my piece like this. I'll place it here. The only thing I'm going to add to the center back is my zipper allowance. So I'm just going to add it that way. So I've created out my zipper allowance. I'm just going to follow the same line and then I'll cut out. Okay, so now we have our front and back piece. So for the back, I'm just going to add a notch here. We're going to open that. So I'm going to keep the back piece and then we're going to work with the front piece. So now I've cut out the center part. We're going to cut out the two side. So we're going to make use of this. So I'll refold the fabric again, and then we'll cut. Okay, so now let's continue. Okay, so this is the center piece that I cut out. So what you are going to do, I'm going to carefully pin it like this. So you do the same on your own. The essence of doing this is I want the shape, because you are going to join the side seam of the side. You're going to join it to the side of the center. So you need them to be accurate. And what I mean by accurate, you need them to be the same, to be exact. It's not that one part is straight and then the other part is curved. It will not work. So they have to be the same shape. So you go ahead, you pin like this, and then you trace the shape of what you have on this one. Just trace it. And then we're good to go. So now we're going to take out our full body measurement. Now the first measurement, you remember this is our hip line. Okay? This is our hip line, and then this is our knee line. So just extend the lines. And then this is our waist, obviously. And then so now the waist measurement, now you're going to add your normal regular skirt measurement. See, it's placed now like a normal skirt. So you take your measurement, your normal measurement into 4. You don't need to take it into 6 because you have already pinned it together. You understand? So that is it. So we're not measuring them separately, so they are pinned together. So I'm trying to explain this small so you understand. So the waist that I'm using is 34, which is when you divide 17, that's 34, which is 8.5, like this. I'm going to take it like this now so you can see. So I'll mark it here, and then you add your stitching allowance. So for the stitching allowance, I'm just going to go ahead and add 1.5 inches for my stitching allowance, and then I'll do this. Now I need to form the shape of the skirt. Then the next measurement on the hip line, I'll take my hip measurement. You divide your hip measurement into 4. I'm going to place it like this. My hip measurement is 40, so I'm going to mark 10 here, and then I'm going to add my stitching allowance to it. So from this point now, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'll just mark my skirt shape, and then I'll come to the knee line. So for the knee, like I normally say, reduce your knee measurement. It gives fittings to your skirt. So I'll just measure what I have here. I'll take out 2 inches from it, and then I'll place it here just to give my skirt a very definite shape. That's excuse me. And then the next thing we're going to do now for the down part, I'm just going to check what I have here. For this center piece here, I have about 13. I'm going to check. So I have about 13 here. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, depends on your fabric. So from this point, I'm just going to go ahead, excuse me, and then from this point, I'm going to do this, and then I'll go ahead and do this. So that is how simple a 6 pieces skirt is. For those of you that keep that 6 pieces skirt is, keep doing the thing, if you permit me to use that word. This is all about 6 pieces skirt before we add the wrapper. So I'll just go ahead, I'll cut this part. So note, we have not shaped the down part of the skirt. So this part now, you're going to make sure you cut it, let it have the same shape like I explained earlier. So you see the way I'm cutting it. Okay, so now we're done. So you can see the shape that we have here is looking like the shape of this center piece. So when you stitch them together now, your skirt is going to be beautiful because the shape, they are the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it so you can see what I'm trying to say. So you can see our 6 pieces skirt. You see how beautiful it is already. So this one is going to stay like this on this side. So this is our 6 pieces skirt. Now, if you are not making it a wrapper, this is what you are going to have. So the next thing now, I'm just going to keep this center piece. So with this side piece, you're going to cut out the back ones. You know you need another two for the back. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'll cut out the back piece then before we come back to add the extra to form the wrapper. Okay, so we're finished cutting all of our skirts. So the next thing you are going to cut out is an extra side pieces. So you remember this is our side pieces. We have four pieces of this, for two for the front, two for the back, and then this is our center pieces. So now for you to add the wrapper effect, you are going to cut out two extra pieces of this side pieces. That is the one that is going to go inside and give that wrapper effect. So I'm just going to go ahead now, I'll cut it and then show you how to join it together. Okay, so I'm going to explain how we are going to stitch them together. So this is the extra two pieces that I cut out now. So I'm just going to leave it in order not to confuse you. I'm going to leave it on the side. Let's work on our actual six pieces skirt. So if you want to add a lining to this skirt, if you are making use of a lace fabric, I advise you do a full lining. You can just cut out your lining up to like below the knee and then just sew it the way you normally fix your lining is a regular skirt, so you fix it that way. So the way to stitch, so I'll keep the back since we're not opening the back because of the zip, but some people do add zip to this skirt. They do add zip, so but this I'm not going to add a zip. I'm just going to open it and then stitch it back to give it a fitting, so I'll be able to shape it properly. So this is how you stitch the skirt. I'm going to take this now back to my machine. From this top part, I'm going to stitch it to the down and then do this on this side also. So what I did for the front, I'll do the same thing on the back and then I'll bring it back and show you how it will look like before we join the extra side ones. Okay guys, so you can see we are almost done. So I finished stitching them. So this is my back pieces. So you see my three pieces is joined together. So like I said, you can open it on the center if you want. I'm still going to do that. I just want to arrange the skirt properly. So then this is the front pieces. So what you are going to do, you are going to join the back and the front together. Now you know the same normal way you join your skirts together. So I'm going to show you. So this is front piece and back piece now. So what I want you to note is that you are going to join it on the right hand side. If you join it on the left hand side, that means your wrapper will be facing left. So it depends on how you tie your wrapper. Some people tie wrapper to left. So I'll go ahead now. I'll go and join on the right hand side. So after joining it on the right hand side, I'm going to take my extra two pieces. So this extra two pieces now is going to sit on this left hand side of my skirt. So I'm going to show you how it will look like. So this extra two pieces, I'll just go ahead now. I'll join these two pieces together on the center. I think I should just go and do them like that first and then so it will not be confusing. I'll join this and then join this. I'll come back and show you. Okay, so you can see we are almost done. So you can see my skirt. So you see it is well laid out. It is beautiful. So this is your normal six pieces skirt. So I've joined it on the right hand side so you can see. So this is the extra one. That's the extra side pieces that I cut out. I know I cut out two extra side pieces and then I've joined them on the center. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to join it on the back piece. So it's going to come and stay like this on the back piece. So you know this, it has the same hip shape. So you're just going to go ahead and then join it. So these two pieces will now come inside. So if you want to make it bigger, you can, depends on how full you want it to be, you can add an extra third one to make it fuller. So what I'm going to do now, just take it back to the machine, I'll join it and then fix my waistband on it and then I'll place it on the mannequin for you to see. So like I said, if you want to add a lining, just cut the lining out the same way with your fabric and then join all of your pieces together. Okay guys, so you can see, so I finished sewing my skirt, so I finished everything. So you see the way the inside is looking like. So at the end of the day, you can just use overlock seam and just lock all of them if you don't want to line it. So for the top part, I just added a big band, like a big band. You know, this is like a wrapper. So this helps to deepen the length of the skirt. So now, when you want to tie, this is how you are going to tie. Just the same way you tie your wrapper. So these are the extra two that we added. You see the extra two. So the other part are the full skirt. So these are the extra two. So it's that extra two that will go into that part. And then this comes like this. So it depends on how I'm just trying. You can just tie it however you want to tie it. Make sure that it is sitting well. So you can see the back. So you see the center back. It is just like your normal skirt at the back. So you see what I have at the front at the end of the day. So you see how beautiful our 6 pieces wrapper skirt is looking. So at the end of the day, it came out where you see the center piece is plain on the center part, you see the side, and then you see this other one. So thank you so much. Please like this video if you find it helpful. Please like this video. And then if you have any question, you can drop your question on the comment section for me. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.